We're live. Deadline stream, game week 28. How is everyone doing? I see we've got Brisky in the chat asking where I am. I'm just here, mate. I was just making a little cup of tea for myself with my Golden Goal branded mug that you can purchase in the link in the description below. Oh, I'm joking. You don't have to buy a mug. I hope you're doing good, mate. Yeah. Any decisions you're looking to make this game week, let me know. Let me know. You'll see there's also a poll around captaincy. Do you want to go SAKA, an Arsenal midfielder, Harry Kane, bit of Tony, or someone completely different? Let me know in the poll. But yeah, it's good to have you here, Brisky, mate. What have I got today? Well, the standard stuff, really. Unfortunately, I couldn't squeeze the team news into all my slides, but Emma at Jump the Wave on Twitter has tweeted them all in the last sort of half an hour. So we'll spend some time going through that. But yeah, without further ado, I'll go through the content I've got. I think that was a good intro, wasn't it, with the gun fingers, hopefully. So, as we all know, Game Week 28 is a blanker. So, Brighton, Fulham, Liverpool, West Ham, Man United and Man City are all not playing this game week, which means we can't have, players that play for these teams aren't going to feature. So a lot of people are going to be tripled up probably on Brighton. They're going to have Rashford, they're going to have Haaland, might be holding some Liverpool players still if they haven't wildcarded. Yeah, lots going on and lots of players that need to either be bench or sold this game week. And hopefully the stats I've got coming up let you know the kind of players that you should be buying for the game week. So I shall get into that now. So starting off, we've got expected points, and this is according to my friends at DraftHound, who kindly provide the data for every video and stream that I do. So top of the tree in terms of goalkeepers this week is Kepa, Ramsdale in second, followed by Forster, Martinez, Sarr, Pope, Raya, Meslier, Neto, Ward and Bazanu from Southampton. And then Zinchenko tops the list for defenders. He's actually got really high expected points total. You'll see on the next slide how he compares to some of the best players in the game. But he's right up there this week. We'll see in the predicted lineups whether he's back to start by the Arsenal fans. But I don't mind him as a very, very outsider captaincy, because Crystal Palace at home, I think, is a good fixture for Arsenal. The way that Zinchenko gets forward is really good. And I think they got a good chance for clean sheet because Palace just can't score for toffee. Then we got Trippier, and then the three Arsenal boys, the four sort of big Chelsea defenders, followed by Perisic and Cash to round out the top expected points for defenders. And now what we all want to see is the big guns, the midfielders and strikers, and the top ones of those for expected points. So leading the way for in totality at the moment is Bukayo Saka on 6.4, closely followed by Harry Kane and Martinelli on 6.3. And then just running through the rest of the midfielders, Odegaard's on 6.2, Trossard 5.9, Almiron, Son, Bailey, Wissa, Kulusevski, St. Maximan, Buendia. And then I've already said that Kane's top of the strikers, followed by Tony and Watkins. I think people that have got the Kane, Tony and Watkins triple up, which certainly I will be having come the deadline, I think are going to do well this week. They're the three top strikers in the game. Then Callum Wilson, not sure if he's going to play. I think it will be Isaac. But yeah, we'll see as we go through the predicted lineups. Havertz is up there. People considering bringing him in. I personally prefer Ollie Watkins, I think. Buemo, Iheanacho, Solanke, Felix, Jimenez and Bamford. And hello Sparta and Brisky. Hope you're doing well, guys. Transfer is Stupinian for Chilwell and Haaland out for Watkins. Thoughts? Yeah, I'm going to do the Haaland and Watkins move myself. The only reason I'm a bit sceptical, because I could do another move and bring in Chilwell. I think our teams are quite similar, Graham. But I haven't made my decisions yet. I'm going to do them live on stream. I think the Haaland to Watkins one, total sense. Completely get that one. Moving for a defender, I think, feels a bit of a luxury, especially before an international break. So I'm not sure. I'm still debating it. I'll definitely be doing Haaland to Watkins, no question. But bringing out a defender for Chilwell, don't know. Is having 11 this week better than, going through international break with the risk that Chilwell gets injured and then, got to fix it next week and not have 2 free transfers to do so? I don't know. Hello, Shaniel, mate. It's good to have you. Brisky, should you keep 2 Chelsea defenders, Kepa and Chilwell, or go with Emi Martinez? Well, you've just seen, if you were here, the top expected points for a goalkeeper this week is Kepa. So keep Kepa, would be my view. Then you got the goal involvement, goal scoring percentage. Kane tops both of these. 49% chance of a goal and a 59% chance of being involved in one, with Saka, Martinelli, Tony rounding out the goal involvement lids. Well, you can see all the stats there. I won't go through each player. I don't need to name them all. But I'll leave that on the screen for a bit. Even if you're free hitting, mate, I still think Kepa's the strongest keeper this week. I think he's better than Martinez, in my opinion. And yeah, Graham, it's really tough. I don't know. I'm trying not to overthink it too much. I think one of the things that's really got me down this season is just overthinking decisions and making transfers for like the sake of using transfers, if that makes sense. Like doing something rather than being seen to do nothing. Whereas I actually think this week the Haaland to Watkins move is an obvious one, but doing nothing in terms of defenders I think could pay off. Brisky, yes, I would go for Chilwell and Kepa. I think that's a good double up. You don't want any more than that, but I think double Chelsea is good. And you'll see why. So we've got the clean sheet odds here. So Arsenal top the list in terms of clean sheets, 60% clean sheet odds against Palace. I think we'll see how fit Saliba is for the game. I think if Saliba's out, with Tomiyasu being injured as well, it's a bit of a question as to how that Arsenal defence is going to look. But I still think Palace at home is a good game for them to keep a clean sheet in. But given the doubts around the fitness of some of those Arsenal defenders, I actually think Chelsea are the strongest for a clean sheet against Everton at home. And for me, I know Everton are desperate to stay up. But I feel like that's not a game they need to win, whereas Chelsea need to win every game they play at the moment. So I really do have a good feeling for a Chelsea clean sheet. Watch that backfire on me. Then Newcastle, Villa, Tottenham, Wolves and Brentford round out that top 7. I'd say anything outside of that list you can't really see a clean sheet from, but top 7 there look really good. Shanu, are you wildcarding this week, are you, mate? I would. I don't think I'd do a wildcard in 28 before an international break, unless your team is in turmoil and you don't have a free hit. Yeah, Haaland to Tony is a decent move. He's definitely got more expected points than Watkins this week, and I think he's probably a better option. The only thing is he picked up his 9th yellow card, and I think 10 yellows means either a 2 or a 3 game ban. So if he gets a yellow against Leicester or in the first fixture of the double in 29, you only get 2 instead of 3 fixtures. So yeah, just one thing to bear in mind, whereas Watkins is not a yellow card risk. And Tony's in the England squad and Watkins isn't as well. So it's a really tough one. I mean, if you're still unsure, we can do the Indonesian coin of truth to decide. And then I thought what I'd do, it'd be funny if these have changed, but last night I thought I'd just write down my predictions for each of the games this week. So tonight, obviously, it's the reason we got the deadline tonight, is Forest at home to Newcastle. And I'll tell a little story for how I think each of the games are going to go. Actually, that might be a bit useful. But for me, Forest are so good at their ground at home. I think they've held Liverpool, or did they beat Liverpool? I can't remember. Do the coin. All right, I'll finish. I'll stop the Forest Newcastle story for the coin. As if it's still around. Actually, it's not. My desk is. I cleaned up a little bit after last week, and I'm not sure what I did with the coin. I don't seem to have the Indonesian coin of truth at the moment. I think it might have fallen down behind my desk, so I'll fish it out after this. Heads is Ivan Toney. All right. We're going with a Great British Pound today. Oh. It's landed on tails, bro. Tails. That's Watkins. Land in the middle. If that happens, then fair enough. Forest and Newcastle. Yeah, I like I was saying, I think Forest are just so good at home that I don't see a way they don't score. And Shah is injured for Newcastle, so it's going to be Jamal Lascelles in defence for them. Well, I think Shah's a doubt anyway. He's pitching in training, but they're saying he's got quite a lot of load put on his body recently. So yeah, don't know. It could be a bit iffy for that Newcastle defence. So yeah, I think they probably concede to Forest, but win the game. So I've gone 2-1 to Newcastle. Villa, Bournemouth, I've gone for a 2-2. I don't think Villa are that good defensively, and Bournemouth seems to be in a good run at the moment. I don't think they'll win the game, and I think it'll be a 2-2er. And then for Brentford, Leicester, I think both teams are pretty good going forward, but definitely have weaknesses defensively. I really do see Tony having a decent week against that Leicester defence. I'm pretty sure Wout Faes, the Leicester centre-back, we got sent off, didn't he, in Gameweek 27. So he's not going to play. So it's Marty and Suter, I believe, in defence for Leicester, which is, I don't think the two of them would have played together before. I just think Tony could have a field day in that one, especially if he peels off onto Daniel Marty, who's like 5'9", I think. Yeah, so we'll see on that one. But I do fancy Leicester to score. Well, I've got Maddison in my team as well, so I'm sort of biased, but I think that'll end 3-2 was my prediction. Saints and Spurs, I think I see Southampton scoring in that one. Spurs not amazing defensively, but they've got Kane, Son and Kulusevski, who are just such a threat. So I do think Spurs win that. Score more than 2 goals, 3-1 was my prediction. Wolves and Leeds, it's a particularly cagey game, isn't it? That's what I get the feel of. I think Wolves will just grind out a 1-0 win like Wolves do. I think Chelsea will be too much for Everton, and I think they'll keep a clean sheet. So I've gone for 3-0 in that game. And then Arsenal against Palace with no Vieira. I think they're going to be in a bit of a mess. And obviously the new manager bounce is a thing, but I'm not sure who's going to come in on the sideline for Vieira. So yeah, I don't see Palace getting anything from that game, and I think Arsenal could score a hatful, even though they've all played 120 minutes last night against Sporting. They didn't have to travel for it, importantly. It was at their home ground, so yeah, they'll just be recovering today, so I think they'll still blow them away. And I just got the vibe that they just seem to pull it out in the Prem. So yeah, I see Arsenal spanking them 4-0. So just in terms of the fixtures as well, we obviously gone through the teams that blank. So Brighton, Fulham, Liverpool, Man City, United and West Ham all blanking in 28. And then, is it 11? 12 teams. 12 teams that double in game week 29. So we've got Villa, Bournemouth, Brentford, Brighton, Chelsea, Leeds, Leicester, Liverpool, Man United, Newcastle, Forest and West Ham. They all double over the next few weeks, which is really exciting. So yeah, players that you want to transfer in this week, I'd suggest are ones that actually play in 28 and also double in 29. That would be my view. And then on to my team. So there's a couple players I'm really considering. First up, no surprise, Ben Chilwell. He looks to be back fit, fully recovered from his injury, and Potter is starting him regularly in this Chelsea team at the moment. He's definitely a good option. The question I have is it worth the transfer to bring him in and risk it over the international break? Because he's going to play for England, I reckon. Like one of the two, I think we play, is it Ukraine and Italy? So I think Luke Shaw probably starts one and Chilwell starts the other. That's how I see it going. And there's a risk that he could get injured in one of those England games. And he's got Champions League football mixed in as well. So even with the double in 29, I'm not quite sure how it works. But I don't think there's Champions League mixed in, to be fair. But just as a long-term option, we've got to consider that there's Champions League football mixed in there. So, yeah, minutes always an issue. But Chelsea have got some really good fixtures. Even that Liverpool one at home, I could see Liverpool not showing up and Chelsea either grinding out a 0-0 or Chilwell getting some attacking returns. And I think just comparing him to Reece James as well, he seems to be a more solid option. Obviously, the only two Chelsea defenders you're looking at are Chilwell and James, and realistically at the moment. And I just think Chilwell's a slightly better option. Yeah, he's got 2 attacking returns in his last 2 in the Prem, which is quite good. It's only a very small sample size, obviously, but pretty good. And yeah, you can see, well, the 3 fixtures over the next 2 weeks, Everton, Villa, Liverpool. I don't see any reason why those attacking returns would dry up. I think he could probably get 1 or 2 across that lot. So yeah, Ben Chilwell, definitely looking at bringing him in. This is the one I'm undecided on, and the one that I am decided on is Ollie Watkins. I think everyone's doing the same thing this week. Sounds really boring, but the template is the template because it's the best players in the game, and I just can't see past Ollie Watkins. Scored 6 in his last 7. It's a really good goal-scoring record. He's on the penalties, nailed to start for them. All the expected points data over the next few weeks say Watkins is the top replacement for HAALAND. Yeah, and come on, those Bournemouth and Leicester games, you fancy a goal in those. You could probably excuse him for blanking against Chelsea away, but Leicester and Bournemouth, good games for Watkins, and I really do think he can score some goals. So the question is, over 3 games, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Leicester, does Ollie Watkins outscore Erling Haaland? I think yes. I think Haaland will probably score 1 or 2 against Liverpool, but likewise, I think you've just got to trust Watkins with the appearance points, potential bonus points, and goals over the 3 games. I think he just edges it. So I'll definitely be transferring him in. And my team at the moment, we'll go for that. This is my team at the moment, how I'm lining up. 53 expected points, which is a pretty feeble total by the sounds of it. I've got Kepa, Trippier, obviously Estupinian doesn't play, Rico Henry, Zinchenko, Botman, Maddison, Saka, Kane, Haaland and Tony. And I'm obviously going to bring in Watkins for Haaland. But I'm not sure about Chilwell yet. I think I'll do that down to the wire, to be honest. In my mind, I think I'm better off with 2 transfers on the other side of the international break than spunking them now and then just risking like Chilwell getting injured or something, because I want to play my bench boost in 29. So if I have to make transfers to optimise that chip, then I want as many as possible to do so. Couple of questions. Yes, Commando Elite, you got a spicy captaincy there. Estupinian to Cash or Botman, planning to bring him back for Zinchenko in 29. I do Cash. I don't think Newcastle are going to keep a clean sheet this week, and you're totally reliant on a clean sheet for Botman's points. I also don't think Villa are going to keep a clean sheet, but I do think Cash is a better attacking option, so I'd probably go for Cash. Do I think United will win the Europa League? I don't see why not. They've already proven they can win a cup in the UK, and I don't think... Now Arsenal are out. I don't think there's a team in that Europa League that Man United can't beat. I think we can beat Sevilla. Yeah, I think they'll probably win it. But I'm a United fan. So. Watkins, Tony, Isaac or Havertz? Tony, in my opinion. I think Leicester at home is a plum fixture for Tony. As I was saying, the defence, I think the Leicester defence is going to be Armati and Suter. The 2 of them haven't played together. Suter's obviously a big man and can challenge Tony in the air, but Armati, I'm going to Google him. I'm pretty sure he's not the tallest centre-back. I'm just going to check. Daniel Armati. Height. Oh no, he is quite fairly tall. Fair enough. It's my mistake. But yeah, he's just not very good. At the moment, mate, my captain is on Kane. I just think he's been so reliable this season. He's going to play 90 minutes. He's been rested in the week. I think I'm going to go for Kane. It looks like on the captaincy poll, the 14 votes we got so far, though, Saka is leading the way. But for me, I'm on Kane. By the way, if you're enjoying the stream so far, please leave me a like rating and subscribe to the Golden Goal channel. I've said it on a couple of streams before, but I'd love it if we could get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the season. So if you can join me for that journey, I'd be very, very grateful. So yeah, if you're enjoying the stream, please leave me a like and subscribe to the Golden Goal channel. Danny Victor's gone differential with Tyrone Mings. Yep, Leicester aren't good at set pieces. Do you think I should keep him for double game week 29? It depends really. If you are bench boosting and just want to stick him on your bench, then yeah. If you are... It depends what the rest of your team is really for me to answer that question. I just think Kane's so, it sounds safe is a horrible word to use, isn't it? But, come on. Harry Kane, Southampton away. I think he's got a great record there as well. I can't look past it. I can't look past it. If you want to be really punty, I think Son's a good captain this week as well. Hermione gone. Isaac also avoiding Maddison and Blue Ski defenders. What does Blue Ski mean? Is that Chelsea? Everyone on their cat is on them. Hoping they all flop. She's got Zinchenko, Trippier, me and Cash. Thanks for the love. Go in, Saka captain. Nice, like it. Yeah, I think McAllister's worth keeping. I'm keeping Solly March and Matoma just because I want to play them in Game Week 29. So yeah, and I think looking at the fixtures as well for 29, it's another toughie, isn't it? But who do you captain on Game Week 29? I think a lot are going to be on Marcus Rashford with Newcastle and Brentford. But I think the Brighton fixtures are good. Brentford and Bournemouth, those are two good fixtures. So he's like genuinely a captaincy shout for 29. That might be a bit, left field thinking, but I think he could be a decent captain. So yeah, I absolutely do think he's worth keeping. And to be honest, I think he's a better pick than Solly March. I went with March on wildcard in 26, and I regretted it instantly and thought I should have gone for McAllister. I really like the Chelsea assets, Danny. Not so much the forwards. I don't think they got so much going forwards, but defensively they're good. I think Chilwell's a good option. I think Kepa's the best option in goal this week. I just don't rate the forwards. Sorry, I just don't see Chelsea have not scored enough goals, in my opinion, to be picking a forward. I just prefer Ollie Watkins. I think he's a safer pick. I know people are going Havertz, and fair enough. If he goes well, then he goes well. But for me, I'm just not seeing Chelsea feel like a more defensive than attacking team to me at the moment. So I'm going to stick with the defenders. And the question is, and I think it's the reason I can't really bring Chilwell into this team, is if I sell Henry or a Stupinian and then also Haaland at the same time, I do not have enough in the bank because I've been absolutely screwed by price rises this season. I don't have enough in the bank to buy Haaland back for his buying price, because he's 11.8 for me to sell and then 12.1 for me to buy. And I know it says I've got 1.5 in the bank, but if I were to go Henry to Chilwell and then Haaland drops in price because everyone's selling him this week, I'm not going to be able to. I'm not going to have the cash to buy him back. If that logic makes sense. But yeah, I'm just worried I won't have enough cash to buy Haaland back in Game Week 30. So I think I'm just going to stick to my guns and keep the defence as it is, and just pray. Well, do I want to pray that Brentford keep a clean sheet against Leicester, keep a clean sheet against Brentford, or the other way around with Maddison in my team? Don't know, but I'm going to stick. I think. I felt like I rambled there. Who's still in the FA Cup? Let's have a look, see. I just think it's going to be Man City, to be honest. I think the thing is with Man City, they've just got enough players, like a big enough squad to win it. I think Man United, obviously, I think Man City and Man United are the two. Do they have a route where they play in a final together? Because that'd be a good final, obviously, for everyone. But yeah, I just think Man City have got the bigger squad. And to play these FA Cup games, I think the teams are going to need to rotate. So I just think the fact that Man City can rotate more easily is going to mean they do better, quite simply. I mean, they've still got 2 11s that could basically win the Premier League, haven't they? Rodrigo, is he starting for Leeds now, is he? I don't really know the position with predicted lineups, etc. But if he's playing for Leeds, then that's a decent shape. I think what we can do actually is consult the old predicted lineups. So if I just make my screen a bit bigger, I'll take you to a very useful Twitter account, Emma at Jump the Wave on Twitter. I'm just going to request. So that's the Chelsea predicted starting 11. So Mudryk, Havertz, Felix, Enzo, Kovacic, Chilwell, Badiashile, Koulibaly, Fofana, James and Kepa. So pretty much as you'd expect. Anyone interested in the Spurs team? Here it is. I might have to read it off for you. Forster's predicted to start. Romero, Longley, Davies, Dyer. Kulusevski's a 50-50, which is interesting. I guess Richarlison's up there as well. Højbjerg, Son, Skip, Kane and Pedro Porro. So yeah, obviously Kane's back to start along with Son. The big one for me, though, is the Arsenal predicted lineup. And this has been done taking into account the Lisbon game. So I'll flash it across your screen. So Ramsdale in goal. White's predicted to start. They've got Saliba down at 73%, with Holding at 23%. I don't think the Saliba injury is serious. Gabriel's a nail, so he's going to play. Tierney, I think one guy out of the 20 has predicted him to play. Zinchenko in Party, but Zinchenko's back to start, which is interesting given he played 120 minutes on last night. Party, Xhaka, Odegaard, Trossard, Saka, Martinelli. Jesus isn't back to start, which is fair. They're predicting it's going to be Odegaard, Trossard, Saka and Martinelli. So yeah, Martinelli owners rejoice. Hi mate, I was wondering if I should captain Chilwell. Well, I don't mind it. Look at the predicted points. All I can give you really is the predicted points. So Chilwell sits on 5.3 and Zinchenko 6.2. You get an idea of what other players are. And then Saka, Kane are up in the sixes. So I think he is. I think for me there are 4 players that I would, maybe 5 that I would captain this week. It would be Kane, Martinelli, Saka, Chilwell and Zinchenko. Those are the guys I'd consider. I think they're all in with a decent shot of a return, either be it a goal, clean sheet, assists, whatever. So I don't mind Chilwell. On the captaincy poll, Kane is now overtaken Saka and an Arsenal mid. Get your voting in the poll on your captain as well if you're around. Be interesting to see what you guys are up to. Why not captain? Why not? They're an option. I just don't think Ollie Watkins is good enough to captain, if that makes sense. I just don't get excited by him. Tony, I think, against Leicester is a great shout. I should have mentioned him in the list as well. I think Tony's a good shout. I just don't think Watkins does it for me as a captain. But yeah, it just doesn't fill me with a player that can get a haul. Whereas I think pretty much all the other ones we've spoken about, there's a haul in them. Yeah, that's just how and Watkins, he's a good player. And he's a good option for FPL, but he misses a lot of chances as well. He's not particularly clinical. But yeah, let me know what you guys are up to in terms of your transfers. Be interesting to hear. I'm here to help. I can, if you would like, if you share with me your team name in the FPL game, I can chuck your team into DraftHound and have a look at it. So this is mine, Custard Cream FC. You can't see it on your screen. But here's Custard Cream FC. So that's my team. If you want me to look at yours, just let me know. I'll chuck it in. That's annoying. There you go. Yeah, and I'm not going to argue to the death if someone wants to captain Ollie Watkins. I don't think he's terrible. I just think you can just do better. You can just do better. The King's Army. Right, let's have a look. I think that's you. The name matches your chat name. Yeah, if you've wildcarded, unfortunately the wildcard won't show up. It will show the team that you had at the deadline of last game week. For game week 29, I'd bring in Watkins, then Havertz would be my order. So probably do Watkins, Tony, Havertz. So Watkins over Tony just because of the yellow card issue. And Tony has to get through 2 games without a booking in order to play 3 of the 3 possible. So I'd go for him. I'd go for Watkins above him. Tony's still better than Havertz in my opinion, just because I think he's got such a good fixture this week. And then Havertz is third. Yeah, the news about Shah is basically I think Eddie Howe's just concerned with like his condition and just how much he's been used recently and how many minutes he's got in him. So he trained. I just think he's doubtful with a bit of like fatigue. I don't think he's been called up for international, but I don't think he's injured either. I don't know why I'm clicking like this, but I don't think he's injured either. So, yeah, No one really knows is the answer. Certainly what I've seen on Twitter anyway. So I was just poking about with your teammate. So I'd definitely have Kepa in goal. You'd obviously go Saka, Zinchenko. So yeah, you're in a very similar spot to me, basically, where I will bring in Watkins for Haaland. That's the move I'm making. And then you've got to decide, do you have enough in the bank where you feel comfortable? I think you could probably do Rico Henry to Chilwell there. You've got more in the bank than I do. My team's not in such a great place. But yeah, really like this team. 56 expected points. So yeah, I would probably do Haaland to Watkins, and then with the money you've got in the bank, I'd also do Chilwell in for Estupinian. Yeah, fair enough. Don't mind it. The thing for me is, because I'm bench boosting in 29, I wouldn't want to get rid of Estupinian over Henry, because Henry doesn't have a great game week 29, but Estupinian does. So you get to game week 29 and think, oh, I wish I still had Estupinian. So that would be my thinking. Anyone else? So sorry, yeah, K squad won't show up. Anyone else want their team looked at? More than welcome. I'll just pull mine back up. Here I am, Tom Artnell. Full name like my mum calls me. Hopefully that helped you there, Alexandru. But yeah, order would be Watkins first, Tony second, Havertz third. I just don't know. Lots of people giving Havertz quite a lot of hype, but I'm not seeing it in Havertz, I must say. Just not seeing it. Also, what you guys up to at the weekend? Be interesting to hear. I've not got too much happening, to be honest. There's no football going on at Bristol City this weekend. We are away at Swansea. So yeah, no footy for Tom. I'll just be, it's Mother's Day, isn't it? So I'll be doing some stuff with me mum. I've bought her lots of chocolate, so hopefully she'll be happy with that. She's got a Lindor bunny, a mini egg Easter egg, basically, right? In Tesco at the moment, good deal for you guys in the UK. You can buy a mini egg Easter egg that comes with an Easter egg, bag of mini eggs, and a free mug, and it's £3. I mean, I didn't even know you could buy mugs for £3, but you can get one with an Easter egg and some chocolate. Unbelievable. Mate, Sam, if I go through my predictions, I did score prediction for each game. I think Arsenal will batter them 4-0. I don't see how Palace improve with Vieira or a caretaker manager, taking charge. So yeah, I just think it's going to be Arsenal, and I think they'll batter them. But I've also got Spurs down to score 3 goals, and if they score 3 goals, it's very likely Kane's going to be involved in them. Whereas if Arsenal score 4, it could feasibly be no involvement from Saka. So yeah, I've gone for Kane captain, but I do think Arsenal will have a good game. Yeah, Hermione, I like that. I think also we got to bear in mind that I think Tony's court hearing is in April, so he's not really going to survive for that much longer, I don't think, before he gets his ban. Like, if he really is done that many accounts of betting, there's no way. If he gets done guilty for one, I think he gets a ban instantly. So yeah, I think Haaland back game week 30 makes sense, and he's got Southampton away. I've got the wrong screen. He's got Southampton away as that fixture as well, which I think you're going to want him for that, aren't you? Ooh, squeeze it up. There we go. Do you think this will be a high-scoring week? If you look at my team, no. But I need to reset it. If you look at my team, no. But I think some of those games could be high-scoring. Like I've said on my score predictions, which are here. I've put quite a few teams to score a few goals. So yeah, I do. I think the Newcastle Forest game's got goals in it. Villa Bournemouth has got goals in it. Brentford Leicester definitely got goals in it. I think both teams are quite leaky, but also good going forward. Saints and Spurs got goals in it. The only one that's going to be tight is Wolves and Leeds. And I expect, knowing that I've predicted it being 1-0, I think there's going to be a lot of goals just to go against my prediction. Chelsea Everton 3-0 and Arsenal Palace 4-0. So I think goals all through. Fair enough, Hermione. I guess that's the way you play it, isn't it? If you have a different view on how that whole Tony case goes, that could actually benefit your team. I feel like with Southampton, they're a team that can go away to Man City, grind out a 0-0, but they can also lose 9-0 to Man United and Leicester in the same sort of breath. So I agree they've been defending well lately, but I just think Spurs would be too much for them. And I also think the way that Spurs play football, I'm pretty sure Southampton play quite a high defensive line, don't they? And that's what Spurs absolutely love to play against. So, yeah, that would be my view. So I think Southampton defend well against teams that keep good possession because they keep such a high line. But against teams that play on the break, I think they struggle. And Spurs are probably one of, if not the best, counter-attacking teams in England. And Kane's got a great record against Southampton as well. Not that I read too much into that, but it's just a factor, isn't it? Captaincy poll's got a few votes. Kane leading the way at the moment. Just very close. If you're watching and haven't voted yet, let me know who your captain's going to be on the poll. And yeah, if you're enjoying the stream, please leave me a like and subscribe to the old Golden Goal channel. As I've said before, I'd absolutely love it if we could get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the season. And it'd be beautiful to have you along for the journey with me. Oh, in this stream as well, I should be able to stick around for about half an hour for just some general chit chat. Yeah, ask me anything during the stream anyway. I don't really care. I'm an open book. Well, within reason. But yeah, some of you guys might be F1 fans, so I'm happy to chat a bit of F1 on this stream. Other football leagues, I can do my best. My football knowledge isn't amazing, but I can try. No, Khalid, I'm a swimmer, so I'll be at a training tonight, so I won't be watching the game. I've got a training session tonight, so I'll be doing that instead. Are you watching it, and where will you be watching it? That's the question. But yeah, I think Forest are really good at home, aren't they? So I think they'll probably score, make it an interesting game. And I think Fabian Schär being a doubt. So he's either going to play or he's going to play but not be 100%. I think that's how it's going to go. So just that impact things. And obviously Brennan Johnson for Forest is a bit of a doubt as well. There's touch and go as to whether he's going to play. So I think it could be quite an interesting game, that one. Nothing wrong with a cosy Friday at home, mate. That sounds lovely. Don't know about where you are, but it's still grey outside. I haven't looked out the window for a while. It's still grey here. It's been grey for I live in Bristol. It's been grey for the last 7 days. So yeah, I would say it's a night in night as well. I can't wait for summer, man. A couple more months and we'll be able to go outside in a t-shirt and it'd be sunny. That would just be bliss, absolute bliss. Kane's taking a bit of a lead in the old captaincy poll as well. I've got Tony as my captain on this one at the moment. I should be honest. I'm going to go for Kane. So Sam, I looked at Jump the Wave team predictions for Tottenham, and the Tottenham fans seem pretty 50-50 on whether Kulusevski or Richarlison are going to play. But they are 100% in agreement that it's going to be Son and Kane. So I think for me it's got to be Son, because Kulusevski is a doubt to start, and I even think even if he does start, Son's probably going to play the 90. Where it's likely that Kulusevski is going to get subbed. if they're that close, like in terms of starting. So yeah, I think I'll go for Son. Almost definitely go for Son if you can afford it. And I think that might also be a nice, if you can get up to Salah, a nice little placeholder for Salah in game week 29. Because yeah, I don't really think, I think it's Chelsea and Man City are the two for Liverpool in 29, but I think for Salah the opposition doesn't really matter. He can kill it against anyone, as we've seen in the past. Does well against City, does well against United. I think he could do well in 29. So yeah, I'd definitely go for Son. I definitely think Maddison is a good pick, Brisky. He's just, the most important player in the Leicester attack. I think Brentford away is tricky, but Brentford aren't amazing defensively. And then he doubles in 29. I think he's a great pick. 3 fixtures over the next 2 game weeks. Definitely a good pick. And I don't know how you guys feel, but I just think he's such like a fun pick as well. It's just a really exciting player to have in your FPL team. So yeah, I do like Maddison. Hello from Mauritius. Hello, mate. I can't say I've been to Mauritius. I'd absolutely love to. But I know a guy from Reading that came from Mauritius, and I've had a dinner in a Mauritian restaurant as well, which is quite interesting. I can't remember what I had. I had like this, I can't remember what it's called. It was like a ball of something, and it was the spiciest thing I've ever eaten. I don't know if Mauritian food is all spicy, but my experience is it blew my head off. So yeah. Hello, it's good to have you. Maddison, good for a free hit, yeah? I don't mind him. I think there are definitely better midfielders this week, like the Arsenal midfielders. But for me, yeah, I like him. If you look on my channel over the week, I've done a free hit draft video. So if you're on your free hit, give that video a watch. Like and subscribe, but no, seriously, watch that video because my opinion on free hit team hasn't changed since that point. I'd still have that team. I'm going to go through the slides again because I suspect a few people in this stream wouldn't have been here at the start. So I'll start with the obvious stuff. We've got a blank in 28. We all know it's blank game week. Teams that are blanking are Brighton, Fulham, Liverpool, West Ham, Man United and Man City. And I think pretty much all of us have a player from these teams that we're either going to have to bench or sell this game week. So players that you bring in, you're not going to want to bring in players from these teams this game week. That's obvious. These are the top players by position for predicted points. So for the goalkeepers and defenders, Kepa and Zinchenko lead the way. I'm not going to go through each of the lists because you can see it on screen and I can go back to it any time. Just let me know in the chat. But these are the top players per position for predicted points from DraftHound. So it's goalkeepers and defenders. And then midfielders and strikers. Saka, Kane, top in the list with Saka, 6.4 expected points. That's the top of any player in the game this week, albeit it's by 0.1 over Martinelli and Kane. Yeah, I did. I used it. Was it game week 20 on a double game week for HAALAND? Which game week would you suggest to use the triple captain? So it looks like Man City and Man United have a double coming up in game week 34 and potentially 37. So I think it's best used on one of those weeks for Rashford or Haaland. So say Man City have got a double and it's Fulham and West Ham. It's a good time, I think, to use a triple captaincy on Haaland. Man United got one against Villa, Brighton or Chelsea. Decent time to use it. Man City against Chelsea, Brighton or West Ham. You know, I think 34, 37 is a good time. The best free hit midfielder except Arsenal and Maddison. I think it's Son. Yeah, Almiron's chucked in there, but I think Son's got a good chance this game week. Kulusevski is probably, it's 50-50 as to whether he plays with Richarlison, but I quite like Son. I think he's a nice player to have in your free hit team. I think he's going to be popular as well. I haven't watched if any other FPL YouTubers have done a video this week for a free hit, but I imagine they've all gone for Son if they did. But yeah. In terms of like expected points, there's nothing between Son and Almiron. So yeah. Oh, he's been flagged now, has he? Well, you can see the list there for top predicted points. You can go for Leon Bailey instead, Wissa, St. Maximan, Buendia. I like Son. Or you switch up your formation and go like 4-3-3 or something like that, and go triple Chelsea defence or something like that. But I think Son's a good option. I think you either go for Son or you have triple Chelsea defence. I think that's probably the way to play the free hit this week. God, triple Chelsea defence makes me shiver, but yeah, I don't think that's too bad a play. I think quite a lot of people are going to have double. So despite having Kepa in goal, I'm probably going to want Chelsea to concede this week, which feels all kinds of wrong, but there you go. So if Chelsea concede, Kepa makes loads of saves, that's the ideal outcome for me this week, I think. Does that help you, Brisky? Ever indecisive as you are, I hope that helps. And of course we've got the Indonesian coin has gone AWOL. It might be behind my laptop actually. No, it's gone AWOL. So we do just have the pound coin, if you want me to do a coin flip decision for you. Must say, I'm not sure about Ben Mee against Leicester. I would go for Reece James. I would definitely go for Reece James over Ben Mee. I think Leicester score. I really do think Leicester are going to score. And then watch Ben Mee banging a bullet header just to shut me up. But yeah, I really do think that... I think Reece James is better than Ben Mee, mate. I think he can do better than Ben Mee. Let's go back to my team. In fact, I'm going to log into FPL. A second. You can't see that, though. Let's go back to having me on screen. Look at that. My beautiful mug. Oh, I see. You're already tripled up on Chelsea. Let me just sort my screen out and then I'll be right with you. So me/Henry or Ming/Alex Moreno. Let's consult the clean sheet odds. So yeah, Villa are backed more to keep a clean sheet than Brentford. Expected points. Cash is the top Villa defender. So maybe Matty Cash. I think I'd prefer, over me, Henry or Mings, I think I'd prefer Matty Cash if you can afford it. I don't know how much Matty Cash is off the top of my head, but I think I'd go for Matty Cash. It's very surprising when he confirmed play for Poland. I enjoyed that. Arsenal defender's a good shout. You mean as captaincy? Yeah, I don't mind them. Zinchenko he's got 6.2 predicted points on DraftHound, which is it's basically the top. Only, similar to Saka, Kane and Martinelli. The same as Odegaard this week. So, yeah, Zinchenko could be a good shout. And I think with the injuries that Arsenal have in defence, yeah, he could probably play the 90, although Tierney's obviously waiting in the wings at left back. But yeah, I think Arsenal defenders, good captaincy shout this week. You could well go for them. Yeah, if you're new in the stream, feel free to say hello in the chat. You can ask me anything, FPL related, or just how I think the football's going to go this weekend, or any other sport in general. Yeah, I'm around to answer anything, basically. And yeah, if you're enjoying it, please leave me a like and subscribe to the Golden Goal channel. I'd really appreciate it. Just checking my Twitter messages, see if there's any shocks or surprises or what have you. If you think Alex Moreno is more promising, then go for him. But yeah, I think go for Alex Moreno out of those four that you suggested. No big news. Fair enough. If he does nice crosses, then go for him. You're seeing something that I'm not. To be fair, I've not watched much Aston Villa. So if you're thinking he's a good option, then go for him, mate. The last thing, as I say every week, the last thing I want to do is influence your decision when you've got a strong feeling about a player. Because if I do that and you don't go with them, you're going to be so annoyed if it doesn't pay off. And he does well and you haven't picked him. So yeah, go with your gut and go for Moreno then. That's what I would say there. I'm guessing if you're saying you're tripled up on Chelsea, who's your third Chelsea player? Yeah, Bournemouth do score a few goals. They scored a few against Arsenal, did well against Liverpool. They can score. But so are Leicester. I know they've not done well in recent games, but I still think Leicester will score at Brentford. So, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say that. When you look at the clean sheet odds as well, it's just the clean sheet odds is all you need to see. The Villa clean sheet odds are better than Brentford's, and not by massive margin, 6%, but it's big enough in my opinion to suggest that Villa defenders are probably better than the Brentford ones. Yeah, I don't mind I think the Chelsea triple up is better than any of those options. Because even if the clean sheet doesn't come in, the three players that you will have, Chilwell is better than James, in my opinion. But if you have Kepa, Chilwell and Reece James, they can all score points without keeping a clean sheet. So Kepa can get you saves, and Chilwell and James just bomb forward and can get you attacking returns. So I don't mind the triple up, and I don't think you'll be too broken if they don't keep a clean sheet either. Whereas I think the likes of the Brentford defenders, they'll need a clean sheet really to get any points, in my opinion. Chilwell, James, yeah, I've already said that. Chilwell, in my opinion, he's more likely to play the most minutes. Reece James just is being very protected at the moment. And Reece James is probably going to start with what Kyle Walker's been up to. I won't go into detail because I'll probably get taken off YouTube for talking about it. I think Reece James is going to start both the games for England, which obviously increases his injury risk. And I think Chilwell's going to play less minutes for England than James is. So I would go Chilwell. You're as indecisive as ever. Chilwell definitely did start. Well, we can never say definitely, but I think he's going to play. There's nothing happened in the week. Like, they didn't play in the week. Of course, he's going to, in my opinion, he's going to start. I think James will start too. But I think over the longer term, you're just going for a free hit, aren't you? I think Chilwell and James, if you're on a free hit, Chilwell and James are both going to play. So we should probably do a Chilwell and James coin flip, to be honest, because I think it's really close between the two of them. I forgot you're on a free hit. I was thinking of like a long-term pick, but if you're just free hitting, then it's really a coin flip, isn't it? Let me know if you want the coin to decide your fate, mate. I think sometimes that's the best thing for you because you'll seem to be quite indecisive every week about what you do. Your name is Indecisiveness. Damn straight it is, mate. You should change your YouTube name to Mr. the Brisky, and then in brackets, Indecisive. But don't worry, it's great. I love talking to you and interacting and stuff, so I have no problem with your indecisiveness. It's fine by me. But yeah, if you're free hit, I'd do a coin flip between Reece James and Chilwell. Or I'm going to do it for you because I seem indecisive about whether I should do the coin flip. So heads, upside down Queen Liz is Chilwell, and then tails is Reece James. It bounced off my ring, and it's landed on Reece James. So the coin has made your decision for you. To be honest, I don't mind Reece James on a free hit. I don't mind it at all. Saka and Kane on the captaincy poll are neck and neck. So yeah, anyone's thinking of a captain the other, my poll doesn't tell you anything at the moment. Please vote if you haven't already. Tell me who you think your captain's going to be. Just interesting to see what all my viewers think. I'm on Kane, and I think I'm going to leave it on Kane as well. What happened in the reverse fixture? Let's have a quick look. We'll change screen. There we go. I'm just Googling Southampton v Spurs. Well, it doesn't really mean anything for Kane. But the last time Southampton and Spurs played each other is 4-1 to Spurs. Chilwell in the mud. Queen Liz has put him in the mud, mate. He's in the mud. Yeah, feel free to shout if you've got any other questions. I'll go through the slides again in a second, just to remind you guys of what's going on. We can have a quick look, actually. We can have a re-look at the predicted lineups for the important teams that we're all interested in. So this is a brilliant account. Not going to take any credit for her work. Emma at Jump the Wave on Twitter. What she does every week, 20 fans from each of the teams of interest in the Premier League that do a lot of rotation with their teams. She gets a group of 20 fans to predict their lineups every week. So Spurs being first, their lineup is Forster, Romero, Longley, Davies, Dyer. Kulusevski's 50-50 whether he plays or not. Højbjerg, Son, Skip, Kane and Porro are the 10, and then Richarlison and Kulusevski are 50-50 as to whether each other play. So it's an interesting one, actually. Chelsea lineup is expected to be Kepa, Koulibaly, Chilwell, James, Fofana, Enzo Fernandez, Kovacic, Felix, Havertz, and then Badiashile and Cucurella are 50-50 which one plays, with Mudryk expected to start. And then on to the Arsenal team. I know you probably can't read this, I'll make it a bit bigger. Okay, you should be able to read that. Oh. There you go. So Ramsdale in goal, White, Saliba, 73% to start according to the 20 Arsenal fans. I think he got a bit of a lower back injury in the Europa League against Sporting. So yeah, remains to be seen. Gabriel, Zinchenko, Partey, Xhaka, Odegaard, Trossard, Saka, Martinelli. It's going to be the front line. I did have Instagram, but I just deleted it, mate. I don't actually have Instagram. We've got a Golden Goal Instagram if you want to follow that. I don't really post on it though. I just don't like Instagram. Yeah, sorry, it doesn't do great things for my mental health, so I try not to use it. But yeah, we are at Golden Goal FF on Instagram, I think. So if you want to give us a follow, please do. But I don't really use it too much. But yeah, me and my partner who do this channel together, Sam, both created the Instagram. We might use it in the future, but for the time being, I'm happy just to go without. I just don't like it. I always I don't mean to shit on social media, but I just always used to spend so much time like going through reels, and yeah, just like comparing myself to other people and stuff like that. It just wasn't good for my mental health, so I just decided not to use it. Transfers this week, I am thinking of just going for HAALAND to Watkins. I'm going to go for Kane captain. I think Kane's the better captain in my opinion. Don't mind Saka. I'm not going to talk you out of it if you want to go Saka. And then I've done a little captaincy poll, as you can see there, as to what the viewers think. It's very close, but Kane's just edging it at the moment. But yeah, I'll make my moves at 6. I'm just going to do HAALAND to Watkins, I think. I was going to do HAALAND to Watkins and then Henry to Chilwell. But if I do Henry to Chilwell, with the way that my team is in terms of budget, I've had a real nightmare in terms of players rising and falling. I don't have enough cash to then do Watkins back to HAALAND in game week 30 when I want to captain HAALAND and want him back. So yeah. Oh, NCK Footy, good to see you. I've just spoken through the mate. I'm just going to do HAALAND to Watkins. That's going to be my plan. Captain Kane. Obviously, Chilwell is a popular player for people to bring in, if I can get my words out. But I just can't do it. And the reason I can't is because getting rid of Estupinian or Henry would mean that I can't buy HAALAND back in game week 30. I don't think Watkins is worth it as captain this week. I don't think Watkins is worth it. I think there are lots of options, but Watkins is just below the threshold for me. I think the captain's shouts are Kane, Saka. You can have a bit of Zinchenko if you wanted. In fact, top expected points are here. So I'd say of this lot, the defenders, Zinchenko's top. He's a captain shout. I think you could have Saka, Martinelli, Kane or Tony. But I just think Watkins is a bit below the threshold for me to have as a captain. So I would go Kane, Tony, Saka, Zinchenko or Martinelli. That would be my selection this week. I think Watkins is just a bit below the threshold for me. Has Ollie Watkins really ever hauled in FPL? That's another question to ask yourself, really, for me, I think. You're from Nepal. Nepal. No, I don't know Nepal. I've never been there. I'd love to. One of my dream trips is, I don't think I'd be able to climb Everest, but to go to like Everest base camp and just see Nepal for what it is, because it just looks such a beautiful country. And my girlfriend's brother did like a residential trip over there, and it looked amazing. That's really cool. Do you actually live in Kathmandu, isn't it, your capital? Do you live in Kathmandu, or are you in quite a rural place? You don't have to say that in a chat. You can DM me or something You don't have to tell people where you live. But yeah, if you can, where in Nepal. You also have extremely good English for someone that's in Nepal as well. So yeah, I'm very impressed. Yeah, I think that's a good plan, NCK footy. I don't mind it at all. Don't mind it at all. I think the worst nightmare as well, another reason not to bring in Chilwell is I just have a vision of him getting injured playing for England. Like so we've got, I think, the 2 England fixtures. Who have England? I think they got 2, haven't they? They play Ukraine and Italy. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be Chilwell to start one, Shaw to start the other. Let's have a look. England fixtures. So yeah, Italy and then Ukraine. So I think against Italy he plays Shaw, and against Ukraine he could feasibly play Chilwell. Or Chilwell gets minutes in both those games. I just have a vision of him getting injured. Sorry. Worth bringing Haaland back for 29. Might play him and Kane. Go 4-3-3 with 9 doublers. Having him might be a differential. Seeing as, yeah, don't mind it. I think he could do well against Liverpool. Yeah, Reece James, I think he's even more injury prone than Chilwell, isn't he? I think Chilwell's the better option. If I was free hitting like Brisky's doing, I think I'd go James just to be different. And I think James is a better player. But it just looks like Chilwell is like 100% fit. And he's not like a injury-prone player, whereas Reece James really is. He is injury-prone. So I prefer Chilwell to James too. I think that's fair to say. Yeah, and like I was saying, I don't mind Haaland back for 29. I won't be doing it because I'll have Watkins, and I think it's really hard to sell him with a double. But I will sell if Tony... it's really hard to say, isn't it? But if Tony gets a yellow card this week, the decision's made, and I'll be going for Haaland in back for 29 for sure. And yeah, most of you guys got your bench boosts. I'm just going to do mine at 6. You probably remember the story that I shared in the last stream because you were along. I brought in Callum Wilson in like Gameweek 16, I think it was, when we were all waiting for Man City team news, and the transfers didn't go through. So I'm making my transfers half an hour early. And I don't think we're going to get any Watkins news today. Like, nothing's going to come out today. Isaac's a decent shout, actually, Anthony. Yeah. Don't want to talk you out of Isaac. Don't think that's too bad at all. Any defender transfers? Nah, I'm just going to do Haaland to Watkins. Well, that's definitely achievable, I reckon, Brisky. That's a good dream to have as well. What I would advise is wait for it to be refurbished when we get our new owners, whether they come from Qatar or Jim Ratcliffe, Ineos. I'd wait for it to be refurbished. But yeah, okay, that'll be a wonderful trip. I'll have to come and say hello when I eventually visit Nepal as well. Oh, when did you use it, NCK footy? Did you get some points out of it at least? Doesn't matter if you've used it already, as long as it scored you some points. But yeah, for me, I'm going to be smashing mine in 29, I think. Well, thank you very much. But yeah, what I would say as well, mate, is your first instinct for a captaincy this week is probably the one you should go with. Because the last thing you want is me, some bloke on YouTube, telling you who to captain, and it goes against what you feel like doing. Because you'd just be so angry if it doesn't come off. And, well, not angry, you know what I mean. You just wouldn't be happy if it didn't come off. Whereas if you went with a player you had a gut feel about, you'll obviously wish you went with what I said. But I think it'll feel better for you. Oh no, what a nightmare. That's such a shame, mate. It's a lesson learned for next season, isn't it? It's just all about getting better all the time and learning lessons. So it's a lesson learned for next season to, be extra careful about not pressing it. Yeah, don't worry, Linus. I'd like to think I'm quite open and honest about that kind of thing. I don't have a big ego as to my picks. I think Kane's the best captain. But if you want to go different because your gut tells you so, then yeah. Of course, mate. Loads of people have heard of Nepal. So obviously, it's nothing. It's a famous country. You also have my favourite flag in the world as well. But yeah, it just looks so beautiful. I'm going to find a picture just to reminisce. We'll Google Nepal. Look at it, man. What a lovely country. How sick that is. Look at it. It's just magic. Absolutely beautiful. Are you much of a... Well, I don't know. I guess you probably... Do you live, like, in the Himalayas? Or are you, Or are you in more of, like, an urban place? I am unfortunately going to need a toilet break in a second. I've been live for an hour and 10 minutes, and I had a whole cup of tea before I went live and just at the start of the stream. And unfortunately, I need to go to the loo, so I won't be too long. It'll be like 30 seconds, maybe a bit longer. Yeah, mate, NCK footy, no problem doing your transfers now. I don't think, unless it's a Newcastle and Forest player who you'll get news about tonight, I don't think you're going to hear anything to change your transfers. So if you want to send it now, I don't think there's going to be too much downside to doing so. I will do, mate. I'll do that as soon as I get back from the loo. I'll be 30 seconds. I'm back. Are you saying you've never been to the Himalayas or you would like to? I'm going to have a look at this lake. Wow, 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 wow. Looks very cool. Very, very cool. Is that where you're going to go, is it? There's a tea house. Let's go to the Tiddy show. I don't know how to pronounce it. The tea house by the lake. Looks lovely. Looks absolutely beautiful. There's the old Kathmandu. It looks beautiful, mate. I'd love to go there one day. Yeah, let me know in the chat what you if you want to know anything. What do you want to know? What questions you got? Yeah, I think Martinelli's going to do well this week. I think the triple up like that's fine. I think one thing you got to bear in mind is they're also probably going to keep a clean sheet. So yeah, I don't mind that. Like Gabriel will be fine. And I don't think, am I right in thinking that Palace aren't too good at defending set pieces either? So there could well be another like free kick corner goal for Gabriel this week. So I wouldn't be too worried. Understood, Brisky, mate. Understood. I wouldn't do Watkins captain, no. I was saying there's like 5 or 6 players that I think are a genuine captaincy shout this week. And then Watkins is just below the threshold. I've got some goalkeeper defender expected points. So I don't mind. Don't think Zinchenko and Gabriel are the worst captains in the world. But I probably wouldn't. But I do like Saka, Martinelli, Kane and Tony. I just think Watkins falls just a bit below the threshold, but Saka, Martinelli, Kane and Tony look really good. But yeah, Watkins is just a bit below the threshold. I'm going to have a look at this Rah Lake as well. Oh. Wow. That was pretty beautiful, isn't it? Do I prefer Martinelli to Odegaard? I think Martinelli Odegaard is a coin flip this week. NCK footy, yeah. I wouldn't this week in particular and next week, to be fair, with the doubles and stuff. The best players in the game probably don't involve spending the money. And I think that's been the case for a few game weeks previously as well, where the best team in FPL doesn't involve spending all the money. So I wouldn't be too worried about 3.9 in the bank. I think you want to pick an 11 that you're happy with. And if you're happy with your 11, it doesn't really matter what it costs you. That would be my view. I think it's something that us fantasy managers can sometimes get lured into. It's just because the budget's there, we almost feel like we need to spend it. But sometimes I don't think you need to. I've got not quite 3.9. Where can I see what I've got in the bank? I've got 1.5 in the bank and I can't spend it. Like, can't think of a better way to spend it. So Barmy Army, I think that's a decent shout. As I was saying to Raghav, sorry if I've mispronounced your name, I think there are plenty of captain options this week, with Martinelli being one of them. So if you want to go Martinelli captain, go for it. I think he's a decent shout. Haaland to Havertz. I'd prefer Haaland to Watkins if it was me, but yeah, if you want Havertz, go for him. Yeah, I like it. Go for the coin. All right. So heads is, what was the decision? Odegaard or Martinelli? Heads is Martinelli. Tails is Odegaard. We went tails. Fair enough. If you want to gain some rank in your mini league, I think this week is probably one where you can go for a different captain. So yeah, Martinelli, I like it. He played 120, didn't he, yesterday? Is the only thing to bear in mind. So he could get subbed off early. But yeah, he's going to play centre forward, isn't he? That seems to be what he's doing. I tell you what, Barmy Army, Anthony further up in the chat suggested Isaac, and I can't believe I haven't thought of him either. I think he's better. I think Isaac's better than Havertz. Just because, I don't know, I just feel he's better. I just think he's better. I just don't rate Havertz at all. That's probably going to bite me, and Havertz is going to score a hat-trick. It should say in the top right there, NTK Footy got 105 points in Game Week 27. Thankfully making up for a terrible wild card in 26, but yeah, 105 points. And as you can see, I had Solly March, who definitely scored in the first fixture against Leeds as well. I feel robbed. But we're over it. I haven't even mentioned it on the on this channel because I'm just over it. It is what it is. I just feel really unlucky. Great score. I imagine we probably have very similar, if not the same team. Just by thinking, because this is a pretty common team across a lot of content creators. It'd be quite funny. I think you could probably search Deadline Stream on YouTube today. And then each of us are just showing the same team. But there's a reason behind that, isn't there? Like, it's genuinely the best team you can have at the moment, in my opinion. There's a reason why we all look like this. So I'm just going to check the world of Twitter a sec. If you're enjoying the stream, by the way, please leave me a like rating. I'd really appreciate it. And subscribe to the Goal and a Goal channel. I do 3 or 4 FPL videos every week. And a deadline stream every deadline when I'm free. I think towards the end of April, I'm going away to Barcelona. I've booked myself a weekend away in Barcelona, so I probably won't be deadline streaming that week. Or I might find a way to go live if the Wi-Fi is good enough. But yeah, there'll be a deadline stream every week. Should you captain Kane and vice-captain Tony? Sure. I mean, Kane's going to play, so the vice-captain's nugatory, really. But I think Kane's the best captain this week. But it's similarly to what I said to Linus, if you have a gut feeling about another player that's going to do better than Kane, you should probably go with them. Because I think this is the week to go like with your gut on a captain. Unless it's Ollie Watkins, and then I'd advise against that, I think. But I think people would captain Ollie Watkins for the sake of being different rather than like a genuine reason that he's better than the rest of the options, if that makes sense. Whereas I think with Martinelli, you can make a general case that he is the best captain, for example. I will definitely tell you how it is, mate. I'm really excited. It's got like loads of really cool architecture. Obviously got the new camp and a beach, so I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I'll let you know how it was. I'll share some pictures and stuff. And well, I don't know about you, but I don't know about your airport situation, but I live really close to Bristol Airport, and the flights are like £100 return. No, March's goal has been officially declared, well, by FPL that we won't get the points. It's been turned over, but because FPL has a rule where the points are just set in stone at a certain point in time, and the goal was changed after the FPL like deadline for setting the points, so it's just not going to change. It's very unfortunate. But I saw the replay straight after the goal, and it looked like he touched it. Oh, I'm going for Kane, Brisky, absolutely. Absolutely, definitely going for Kane. I don't mind Trippier captain. I think he probably just falls into those that are an option. Although I just think Forest are so good at home that they're going to score. So I do think Forest are going to score, which is what would put me off the Trippier captaincy. Just think Forest are good at home. As I keep saying, mate, Saka's definitely an option. But I think Kane is the best captain. It looks like there's 67 votes on the poll. They say Kane too. I'm also in a FPL an FPL WhatsApp group. And everyone in the WhatsApp group voted. I'll show you the WhatsApp poll. Can you see that? Kane's winning that. feel like captaining Watkins. Well, I would personally advise against it. But who am I to talk you out of it, ultimately? I would just advise against it. I've not, like... The reason you'd captain Watkins is the sake of going, like, just being different for the sake of it. There's nothing to suggest, in my opinion, that he's a better captain than Saka or Kane, other than the fact that no one's going to pick him as captain and you're trying to be different. You see my point? Like, yeah, Saka captain, do it, mate. That's absolutely fine if you don't have Kane, I think. Martinelli's another good shout as well. I don't mind Zinchenko, just thinking that they'll probably get a clean sheet and he could get amongst the attacking returns. And I don't mind Tony either against Leicester. I think Tony could do the business against Leicester and their defence. I'd bring Chilwell in for me because it's the best for the money, if that makes sense. If you sell Pinnock for Chilwell, you leave yourself with less in the bank. So I'd sell Ben Mee. And between me and Pinnock, there's really nothing between them. I think Arsenal keep a clean sheet even with Saliba out, to be honest, mate. I just think Palace are terrible. They're okay, but they just don't have a recognised striker. Like, well, they do, but not one that's any good. I don't think they score. That's my opinion. Coin flip for Isaac or Havertz. I'm absolutely happy to do that. Havertz is going to be tails. Isaac is going to be heads. Tails. That's annoying because I prefer Isaac, but it landed on tails. Yeah, I'm not sure, like, the sacking of Vieira, right? We can talk about it a little bit. I'm just a bit unsure. I know they weren't very good, and don't get me wrong, but I don't think they've backed Vieira at all. Like, they don't have a centre-forward, and they've not had a striker for years that can actually put the ball in the back of the net. And they also haven't replaced Conor Gallagher with anyone any decent, and I think he was so good for them last year. And they're missing a player of that type in their team. I just think... Yeah, I think he's unlucky. And then you look at the previous fixtures as well. He's played basically the top 8 teams in his last 10 fixtures. So it's been a really tough run. So not getting too many good results in that lot is sort of expected, really. I just feel a bit sorry for him. But obviously, I think something must have happened in the background to kick it all off. But yeah, it's just, yeah. It's an interesting one. And I'm not sure, like, if they improve against Arsenal, I'm not sure they're going to get a bounce. I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say then, Brisky. Some teams do, don't get me wrong, but like they won't have a new manager yet. So I'm just not convinced they are going to play better without Vieira. I'm just not convinced. I don't know, might be wrong. It's getting to that time. I'm going to get an alarm in a second to make my transfers. I'm going to have to sell HAALAND. It feels disgusting, doesn't it? But he doesn't play this week, so you kind of have to. I'm going to look at that lake again. Injury news. I don't think we've got anything on Saliba. I'm going to check one more time. It was Saliba. Tomiyasu has done a knee ligament, or is expected to have done a knee ligament. So he's out for a while. Saliba, I think on the night they were suggesting it was a back spasm as opposed to like a big back injury. But I'm going to do a Twitter scroll now and have a look. There's my transfer alarm. That made me jump. Right, before I check the Saliba injury, I'm going to do my transfers because I have been known to forget. There we go. Haaland for Watkins. 5.9 in the bank. 5.9 million in the bank. Don't want to play my free hit. I could click that by accident, couldn't I? Haaland to Watkins. Done. Right, we're looking at injury news. I've made my transfer. Huge. So they're saying that Saliba's substitution was just precautionary. Something about Kim Kardashian. But yeah, it looks like Saliba's okay. Tomiyasu not, but Saliba will probably be alright. Hopefully that's the answers to your questions that you had there, mate. I'm just going to have a scroll through Twitter as well where you guys are on, just to see if there's any news. So I'm just going to see if I now do Estupinian to Chilwell, can I do Watkins to Haaland? Because then it makes it a tougher call. Or I can, but it leaves me with no wiggle room. No wiggle room at all. But I can do Estupinian to Chilwell. Oh, it almost makes sense to do it, doesn't it? What we say in chat, I can afford it. I didn't think previously that I could, but I can. I can afford to do Estupinian to Chilwell and then bring Haaland back. So I can field 11 this week. I can do it. I think I probably should. What do we think, chat? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. Yeah, Unish, I'll be bench boosting next week. So Chilwell, Estupinian. It doesn't really affect that at all because Chilwell's got a double next week as well. In 29, he's got a double, sorry. I know it seems a bit funky for a content creator to ask his chat for advice, but I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. Estupinian to Chilwell, should I do it? I think I'm close. I'm close. Just seeing I've only got 10 as well this week. The reason I wasn't going to do it is because I couldn't afford it, but now I realise I can, and I can still buy Haaland back when I need him as well. Because I'm sure Haaland's bound to go down in price this week. He's going to get sold by a lot of people today. Yeah. Should I do it? No one said yes or no. Come on, man. Help a man out here. Doesn't cost me anything. Got 2 frees. No, I go Martinelli. This is my decision now. I want a yes or no on this one for me, Brisky, please. Let me know. Estupinian to Chilwell, yes or no? If it pays off, I'll book a flight to Nepal and have a beer with you. Oh, well, you said you're 16. I'll have a cup of tea with you. Yeah. I think this move makes sense. I've been quiet there because I was thinking. Estupinian doubles in 29, right? So I can't get rid of Henry. I would probably get rid of Henry, but I can't afford to get Haaland back if I sell Henry. So this is the only way in which I can get Haaland back in game week 30. Estupinian doesn't play this week, so this move allows me 11 players for game week 28. And Estupinian and Chilwell are comparable in 29. I don't think there's too much between them. And I'm quite happy to just have Chilwell in my team long term. I've done it. But yeah, now I realise I can buy Haaland back. I think it makes sense. Now I literally have the same team as every single FPL content creator in human history. But yeah, I've done it. Look, I've got 11 players. Watch Chilwell get injured. He is when Wilson's in the squad, but I think Wilson's got an injury at the moment. Like, I think between Isaac and Wilson, I don't think there is a first choice striker when they're both fit. So yes, but I know the formation is terrible, but at least I got 11 players. I can imagine that happening. The Forest are going to score after about 2 minutes, and then 2 of my defenders are going to concede. That's what's going to happen. I just don't think Newcastle are going to keep a clean sheet, which bodes the question, why the hell did I pick them? But yeah, I just don't think they got a clean sheet in them this week. Nonto to Watkins for a -4. The Leeds play this week. I think Nonto is a bit of a rotation risk now, to be fair. I think I probably would. It depends. It's Ronaldo. Depends, Ronaldo. Can you field 11 players without making that move? Yeah, well, no one knows for sure if Martinelli's going to play, mate. But all of the lineup predictions suggest that he is. So, Jump the Wave is the prediction account for each of the big teams in the Premier League. She has 20 fans who she asks who do they think are going to be in the starting lineup. And they all vote. And then she combines their votes with how accurate they've been in previous weeks. And it comes up with a score. And Martinelli is 96% to start. Isaac or Havertz? All right. I think I've already done one. But we'll go Havertz for tails. Isaac is heads. Okay. Havertz. Tails. Sounds like it's confirmed your decision. So I think that was the coin flip result that you wanted. I don't think Jesus is starting 2 games Thursday, Sunday after being injured for that long. I think it's going to be Martinelli. No, Jesus is not expected to start. Jesus is 27% to start. It's Jesus or Trossard, not Jesus and Martinelli, if that makes sense. That seems to be if people are predicting that Jesus plays, they're predicting that Trossard doesn't play and vice versa. If that makes sense. But yeah, you can see there, that's the prediction. Kane or Saka, yeah. I think I've already done it. I can't remember. Yeah, I can do the coin flip for those 2 as well then. So, First one was Saka. Saka can be... No. Kane can be heads because he scores goals with his head. Saka doesn't really score headers, so he can be tails. So, Kane, Saka. Kane is heads. Saka. It's getting tails every time, isn't it? Do you reckon the £1 coin might be rigged? Let's find out. If this next one is tails, then it's a dodgy one. So Estupinian can be tails. It's landed on tails again. So it's Estupinian. But it landed on heads that time, to be fair. I'm just trying out this coin. It lands on tails like pretty much 80% of the time. I don't know if that's me like rigging it or if the coin is like weighted more towards tails, but yeah, don't know. It's landed on tails a lot. So it was Saka for captain and Estupinian on the coin flip. Although Barmy Army, I just sold him as you saw and went for Chilwell. The captaincy poll has been led by Kane at the moment as well. I think that's representing what most people are going for as well. Most people are going for Kane this week. Yeah, but do you want to go back to Haaland in 29 though? Is that worth it? I think you want to go back to him in 30, don't you? Yeah, but how often is Kane going to blank in when Tottenham score 4 goals? I think that is such an anomaly. So I still think Kane's the best captain, mate. I do. I think it's Kane. And yeah, Tony is. Oh, I see. So you're saying, okay, you could go Tony to Kane if Tony gets his yellow. I got you. So I think in your head, right, this is what percentage likelihood do you put on a Tony yellow card? If it's less than 50%, then you should do Estupinian to Chilwell. If it's more than 50% that he gets booked against Leicester at home, then you should keep Estupinian. That's another way to think about it. I remember, God, this is how sad I've become now I'm doing YouTube. Tony averages a yellow card about 2.3 every 2.3 games. Don't ask me how I remember that, but he does. He got a yellow in the last game. So by the law of averages, he should scrape through Leicester without one. There's just so much like forward-thinking prediction to do there, isn't there? And the question, I guess, Barmy Army is, are you bench boosting in 29? I think based on all the doubts that you're having about that move, I think you should go for, you should keep Estupinian with all those doubts you've got. That would be my view. I don't think the bench boost really matters, does it, to be honest? But yeah, based on the doubts you seem to be having in your messages, I'd probably keep Estupinian. Just for the same reason I told a other bloke, if you sold him and then the reality that you're talking about happens, you're going to be so angry. Whereas if it doesn't happen and you don't go for him, I think you'll just get over it quite quickly. So yeah, I think you should keep Estupinian. Be interesting to hear what your guys' plans are this weekend though. I usually ask this question on a Saturday, but it's a Friday deadline today, so yeah, let me know what you're up to. What am I up to? I've got swim training tonight, big swim. We're going to do timed races against our fellow club mates. That's going to be fun. And then tomorrow I'm doing, because my mum's away on Sunday for Mother's Day, so I've brought her loads of chocolates that I'm going to deliver to her on Saturday. And then I've got a meal out with my swim team Saturday night. I've got going for an Italian in Bristol, which should be really good. Boo-boo, it's a good question. If you did Salah and Darwin out, bearing in mind they double in 29, would it leave you with, would you only have 9 players if you didn't do that move? Because for game week 29, I think they're really good. Oh no, did my stream go down then? If it did, it looked like it lagged on my little preview screen. Let me know your team name, Barmy Army. Sorry about the lag. Maldini's XI. Yeah, sorry about the lag. I can't help it. It's just my internet played up a little bit then. But we're back. It's all good. Haaland is Havertz. Got ya. I've got to say, mate, I think I'd bring in Chilwell. I think I would bring in Chilwell. But it's not about what I would do. I know I'm meant to be giving advice, but you seem so doubtful as to that Tony yellow card. And I'd hate for that to happen. And then it means that you can't get back to Haaland easily. So if it were my team, I'd bring in Chilwell because I was in the same position. Chilwell, he's got Everton at home. Chelsea have just looking at the clean sheet odds, Chelsea have a 56% chance of keeping a clean sheet. So according to the bookies' odds, they are more likely than not to keep a clean sheet. So Chilwell is more likely than not to get 6 points this game week. He's also got an upside of attacking returns. Got 2 of them in his last 2 games. It's Everton. They're not great. Could quite easily get attacking returns. And he doubles next 29 as well. So that's why I'd go Chilwell. Well, I've done a little feature on him, haven't I? Voila. It says there. And just long term, they're pretty decent. Like, I know they got the Liverpool game in 29, but could quite easily get an attacking return in that one. And then it's Wolves and Brighton. They're pretty good fixtures. I wouldn't do a -4 when you can field 11. But if like the reality happens where Tony gets a ban, then you could -4 it, I suppose. If it were my team, I'd do Chilwell. I would. And I think even if the outcome doesn't work out, I would look back on it and think, yeah, Tony to Haaland for a -4 makes sense. Absolutely. And I think looking back on it, I would make this decision again. Like, it just seems the upside is there. The upside is there. Why not? And I think if the outcome doesn't work, it's unlucky. Oh, that's scary. Scary that you trust me. But hopefully I've explained it in the right way. That even if it doesn't work out, it's still I feel like it's a rational decision. He's also 5.9 million now as Chilwell, by the way. Just make sure that you can afford to buy Haaland back before you make the transfer. I think with the money you've got in the bank, you can. But just make sure. but I appreciate your trust. Got 10 minutes to go before the deadline. Any more questions? Anything people want to know, talk about, want to raise? Any topics? Just let me know. It's been great to have you on the stream again this week. They're a bit harder for me on a Friday afternoon because I spend most of the day working. So I am quite tired. So apologies if I've not been quite as bubbly as I am usually. But I'm mucking on and doing my best. Well, we flipped the coin, Alexandru. So you've got multiple options. The coin flip suggests it's Saka. I say it's Kane. And as you can see on the poll in the chat, it says Kane. What would you like? What would you like to help you decide? Would you like me to put... who are your captain's options? Who are the players you're considering? And I can put them in a random name selector. And it will draw one name out of the hat. And that's your captain. I'd recommend, well, if you still can, if you sent it on the transfer, then fine. But if you still can, just make sure you can buy HAALAND back, basically, before you make the transfer. Right. Random name picker, here we go. My teachers used to use that in school all the time, this thing. Ready? Spin the wheel. That's quite a good wheel spin, that, actually, isn't it? That's not bad at all. Here's your winner. I did that face so you can screenshot it when Tony scores 6 goals against Leicester. And yeah, you have him captain thanks to the random spinner. Yeah, I think that was a good way of doing it, isn't it? I don't mind Tony at all. I think he can do well against Leicester. It's going to be our Marty in defence for them. He's pony in my opinion. Yeah, I think he could have a field day. I really do. I'm just going to quickly take a screenshot of my FPL team just to tweet it a second. So bear with while I do that. I'm just going to be on my phone. What was the coin flip, Alexandra? I'm interested. What did it help you with? That's really good to hear that it helped. I can't remember. I do so many that I just don't remember. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'd love to hear what it was. Yeah, was there a coin flip last week as well? Is it captaincy, wasn't it? Was it It was a Tony or Matoma or something like that, I imagine. But yeah, Tony won out. I think only by a couple of points, but still, the coin won. If you're in that view, Barmy Army, don't do it. Hey, no, it did work out for you then. Happy days. So I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased. It was the thing is that it was a different coin. It was the Indonesian coin of truth, which, yeah, as far as I'm aware, has gone AWOL. I can't find it on my desk. Yeah, don't know where it went. But yeah, Barmy Army, that's the thing, like, please work that out for yourself. I can't see your team to work it out, but yeah, well, I can, but the pricing might be different now. So as long as you can afford to buy Haaland back, then you can do the Chilwell transfer. Yeah. Because I think, in my mind, Haaland's going to go down in price tonight. I think so many are going to be selling him. He'll drop by 0.1. Yeah. It could be a problem. Because Maddison doubles in 29 and Martinelli only has a single. So that's something to consider. But I'm glad. The important thing is you're considering the future transfers alongside the one you're making, and that's the thought process you need to go through. So if it stops you making a move that you think will gain you more points, so is bringing in Chilwell this week for a single over having nothing going to gain you more points than going Maddison to Martinelli when Maddison has a double and Martinelli has a single? That's you've got to weigh that up along with all the other events that could occur to that time. Obviously, Maddison's not in the England squad. Did he make it? Can't remember. And then obviously Martinelli's off to South America, so. Martinelli not in the squad? He's in the squad, mate. He's going to play. I'm pretty sure. I've not seen that. Oh, not in the Brazil squad. Sorry. Oh, okay. Fair enough. That's quite a shock. I was like, not in the squad. Not in the Arsenal squad. But you probably mean Brazil, don't you? I'd want Saka. I would. Yeah, Maddison is in the England squad. Thought so. So I'm just getting comfy in my chair. There we go. You're having the last minute deadline terrors, you are, mate. I feel like you've gone beyond the point of where I can help you now. I feel like you've got the rest of the thinking you've got to do yourself. There's so many variables that are going on in your head. I can see it in your messages. I'm not sure I can help you with a minute left. I think you've got to go the way you want now. I'll be interested to hear what you do, though, because, yeah, we've got a minute left. $14 It's the deadline, isn't it? It's hit. It's going to hit. There is 3 seconds. I don't know why this is my countdown. Deadline. You've not done it. Cool. I think it was based on all the variables you were talking about there as a 50-50. And I feel like the one important bit of advice that I heard from someone who's like, is Fergie. If you've seen him on Twitter, Andrew Ferguson. He won the Sun Dream Team game a couple years ago. £75,000 was the prize, by the way. And he was saying, if you're in doubt about making a transfer, it's probably best not to do it. So yeah, I think you've done the right thing, and you've done the important thing as well by planning before you make a transfer. So you've gone through the right thought process there, mate. So I feel like you've done the right thing. Whatever happens now in terms of results is out of your hands, but I think the decision you've made is the right one. Whether it materialises into points, I don't know, but it feels like the right decision for right now with the information you have. So yeah, don't regret that, because I don't think you will. You shouldn't regret it, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I'm going to stick around for another half an hour or so for some general chit-chat if you want to have some. Yeah, I've got to go at 7 because I've got to get stretched off and ready for my training session. But I'm here for general football chat or any questions you guys have got for me. Yeah. Any of you into Formula 1 or anything like that? Bit of F1? Don't mind me a bit of F1, although it's going to be quite boring this season. I think Verstappen's going to run away with it. But be interesting to see how bad Ferrari turn out to be. Or good Alonso is. That'd be interesting. It's all good by me, are we, mate? It's no pressure. You do what you like. Absolutely no problem at all. I also, I must say, I've not watched it a great deal. Well, I've been less interested since Ricciardo went out because he's just my favourite driver. And also Red Bull not getting punished for breaking the rules. Like, they overspent, but nothing's happened. Please explain that one to me. And now they have the fastest car again. 3 seasons in a row they've had the fastest car and they cheated. They might not have done it intentionally. I don't know what the excuse they gave was. But yeah, they overspent and they've not been punished. It doesn't feel right to me. And yeah, I'm excited for the Saudi GP, don't get me wrong, but I do think the track is really quite dangerous as well. It's a bit safer now because over some of the quick turns they've moved the walls a little bit, because before there was some really twisty, tight sections where cars were literally doing 200 miles an hour and they couldn't see around the corner. So on a quali run, if a car's, because when you're just doing a coast lap, like an in lap, cars are doing 30 miles an hour just cruising along. I can't show YouTube footage on here, can I, for copyright? But yeah, I just thought someone's going to die on this circuit with the way it was going. But yeah, it looks like they've made some improvements to make it safer. And there are 2 straights on the circuit where cars can actually overtake each other as well. So it is a good track. And yeah, last time they had one there, it wasn't the Saudi, near to the circuit in Jeddah, an oil refinery was getting rocket attacked by Yemen or something while the Grand Prix was going on. That got sort of brushed over a little bit. But yeah, there was literally a rocket attack while in the same city as the Grand Prix, which is just mental. And they just kept going. And we got the England games as well. I can't say I'm too much of an England fan. Well, obviously I am. I don't really watch the internationals outside of a tournament. But yeah, be interesting to see how he lines up. I'd just love to see Phil Foden play in midfield alongside Bellingham in Rice. I think Foden, Bellingham, Rice midfield is just England's best. We'd love to see that at some point. And then obviously Rashford, Kane, Saka, front 3. Just know Southgate's going to play Sterling, don't you? But yeah, Rashford, Kane, Saka, front 3 with Foden, Bellingham and Rice. In fact, this is my England team. So yeah, formation. I want a 4-3-3, boy. The numbers are obviously wrong. I hate to say it, but I think Maguire's got to play for England. He suits international football. He doesn't suit Premier League football. That's the England team we all want to see, isn't it? Come on. That's the England team. Southgate, Pickett, win the World Cup or the Euros that we're qualifying for. But yeah, that's the England team we all want. That one there. That's okay, bro. Have a good evening. Thanks for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. I'll probably sign off in a second if people are signing off too. It's absolutely fine. No problem at all. Top man. Peace. Just checking what's happening in the world of Twitter. I think everyone's going for the same teams, aren't they? I should probably check Twitter on here. It's a bit rude to check on my phone when I'm live streaming. What's everyone saying on Twitter then? What's happening? Some bloke in Venice. Let's Talk FPL has done Chilwell too. Somehow he's still only got 3 players though. He's gone Saka captain. Andy Nash has gone Kane captain. He's gone Chilwell. A lot of people brought Chilwell in by the looks of it. Lots of people with Chilwell. Salah's done it too. It's just interesting to see other people's teams, isn't it? Rich Clark is one of the best FPL players in history, so I'm going to see, did he share his team? No. Yeah, what were your guys' moves then, if you're still around? What moves did you make, if any? Let me know. Focal's done some nice moves. I'm going to end the poll now. We've all done it, haven't we? Kane won. Kane won. Right, I think anyone that wanted to chat's probably gone now, so I'm going to leave it there. I wish you all a very good game week, and I will catch you for the deadline stream in, a couple of weeks' time. Yeah, if you're still around and you've enjoyed the stream, please leave a like rating and subscribe to the Golden Goal channel. I'd really, really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.